I'm getting weird looks and weird social media musings. And I said, take out the first 25 games of Lonzo's career. I said I couldn't get my hair right here the first 25 days I was at Fox Sports 1. Kids need to catch up to the speed of the league. You got to play defense in the NBA. You don't in college. Take out Lonzo's first 25 NBA games. Take out everybody's first 25. In his last 13, have you seen his numbers? They're better than Ben Simmons, who had a redshirt year. I'm not saying Lonzo's a star. I think he's becoming one of the underrated players in the league. Look at his last 13 games up on that monitor. I'm not sure if you can see it from where you're at. Outside of points, I think we got ourselves a really good basketball player in Lonzo Ball with a loudmouth dad.
No, I agree. I was even saying this earlier in the year when he was struggling with his shot.
You did. You defended him.
Yeah. First of all, point guards, not rarely, but a lot of great point guards, a lot of point guards that are in or will be in the Hall of Fame started out slow in their NBA careers.
Gary Payton had a bad first year.
Stockton didn't start for like a year and a half. Nash didn't start for a few years. So Chauncey Billups was a bust for his first 5 years.
He was.
Traded all over the league. So Lonzo, here's the thing. He's not that exciting.
That's right.
You know, he doesn't shake you up with great moves and great handle. He's a good ball handler, but, I mean, he doesn't use the fancy stuff. And he's not going to be – we've kind of become accustomed to thinking our point guards – need to average 25 points a game.
He's old school.
Yeah, he's more old school. And like I think you and I talked about it, Jason Kidd is the name we brought up. And right now, I'm feeling good about the prediction that he could be like Jason Kidd because he's also a good defender. Now, what you want a little more aggressiveness or consistent aggressiveness like Jason Kidd, but he's shooting it better. Got to work on his mid-range game too, still. But he's getting comfortable, and you see who's the catalyst and the culture changer on that team, and it's Lonzo.
Ingram's the best player. Lonzo's the culture changer. So I said yesterday, Durant's better than Steph. Steph's the most valuable guy in the Warriors.
I agree.
He's the culture changer. So, I was saying this. We went and we talked yesterday about when LeBron talks in January, I just sort of roll my eyes. Because I think he's manipulating Gilbert, the front office, the coaches. And he said yesterday, this is the hardest year I can remember. And I'm like, dude, if you took the Warriors out of the league, you'd have 2 more championships. You'd be up to 5, and you'd be probably favored this year along with Houston. Like, I think he's sending messages with. Yesterday, they lose to the Warriors, and suddenly 3 different media outlets have stories.
Yes.
Sources say, I think when they face the Warriors.
So you think that was LeBron?
I think he's one of them. I think he's one of the talkers. You don't think it is?
I honestly, I don't know. I think it's possible for sure. But I'm not going to put his name on it if I don't know.
Why after losing to Golden State were there all of a sudden all these leaks? Because they looked at it and they're like, okay, we can compete with them, but we got to get a player in here. We ain't beating them. By the way, you pointed this out. It's the first time in 12 years. LeBron doesn't think he can win the championship in January.
Whether he was a part of that group that talked to those 3 media outlets, he definitely wants them to use that Brooklyn pick and upgrade the roster because he and the rest of the team understand any move you make without giving up the Brooklyn pick, it's going to be a lateral move for the most part. Might improve you slightly, but they need the Brooklyn pick. And even that, what could that fetch you? Could it get you a Paul George? I mean, right now, Oklahoma City's insistent that they're not going to trade him. We'll see if that changes. But, they could have a nice little postseason run, even though they won't win it. So I don't know that they're going to give up George. So even with that pick, but certainly that increases your chances of doing something. I do think, look, there's no way this is the worst season or toughest, hardest season of LeBron's career.
Oh, God,
that was clearly the first year in Miami.
And by the way, when he lost that finals.
And obviously the finals loss that's going to always be on his record. People are always going to point to that to tear him down. But even the regular season, they were 1-3 against Boston, which was a contender at that time.
Yeah.
They were 0-3 against the Bulls. And after they lost to the Bulls for the third time, remember Eric Spoelstra came out in the press conference and said there was crying in the locker room. Now, I don't think LeBron was one of the players crying, but they said there was that was clearly the worst season. I do think this is his toughest since he got back to Cleveland.
And I think the point you made the other day on Speak for Yourself, and maybe this show is the good one, is that it's not the toughest season. It's the most unique season in LeBron's last 12 years. It is the first time in 12 years where LeBron really knows, he's a smart dude, I can't win the championship. He knows it. In fact, I'm not sure if Steph Curry got hurt, they'd win the championship. I'm not sure they would.
Oh, no, I think you're right on the money. It would make it more competitive, but you're absolutely right.
See, so here's the thing. If they don't make a move at the trading deadline, that's going to be interesting because then we're going to have LeBron doesn't think he can win, and LeBron may go pouting and way dysfunctional. Like if they don't, Dan Gilbert can sit there and go, I'm not going to make a move. Okay, Dan. But if you don't make a move, LeBron, who I think wants to stay in Cleveland, you don't think then LeBron starts moving pieces?
Like no, look, I think there's a very good chance he's leaving.
You do?
Yeah, I really am beginning to think.
What timeout? What, slow down. What do you mean? You didn't say that 2 weeks ago.
No, I know. I mean, I'm just talking to folks. I think there's a good. I don't know for sure. I don't think anybody will know for sure until LeBron does what he does. But I think there's a very good chance he's out of there. You know, I don't think he has confidence in the team to really consider every year build a championship contender.
You kind of buried the lead on that. You can't come on the show if you're an NFL reporter and go, hey, oh, by the way, Brady's leaving New England.
No, I'm not saying he's definitely leaving. I'm not saying he's definitely leaving.
I know
I'm just saying there's a very good chance.
Okay, I see the way you're looking. First of all, when you look at me,
believe me, I do not know for certain that he's leaving.
But when you give me this look.
But I'm not as confident that he's staying as I was before.
Because I know your looks. You're giving me LeBron's leaving look. Okay, this is what it is.
You know I'm an honest man. I don't know for sure.
But this is the look you give me when LeBron's leaving. You put your head forward and you look over at me. You're like, I'm just saying things are getting shaky here. I kind of feel like you've talked to a big, important person.
Nah, look, I don't know for sure.
But you feel
I am getting vibes.
You're like a dog before an earthquake. You can sense it. Right before the earthquake.
I read things and I get vibes.
Okay.
So I said, I thought he was going back to Cleveland. Just on vibes.
Strong vibe.
When he went back.
Yeah.
I thought Durant was going to Golden State. People said I was crazy. I just vibes, reading things. So the vibes I'm getting are that there's a good chance he's out of there. The question is, where are you going?
That's another segment. All right, his name is Chris Broussard.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.